we got a real heavyweight here, boys. We've got Swampert versus Ojama. And girl, I missed that. I don't want to be sexist because that's one of the worst things you can be, as my last girlfriend told me. Anyway, so yeah, he's gonna get out of there, go to Lax, which not a bad switch to any form of Coon early in the game. Scout him out. Coon's not going to be overwhelming it. If it's offensive, then Hydro will 3-8 KO, and it's likely we see some boom trading. If Ojama's a sub Coon, then that can mess him up. He's just going right for Calm Mind. He takes nothing. Feels like a bold Suicune, which Ojama is very, very fond of. It's an amazing Pokemon. Ever since Advance came into Smogon Tour, then offensive sets got more and more popular. And I mean, they are absolutely monstrous, but just old-fashioned Bull is just incredible. So he's just surfing, feeling him out. Vil could have a standard defensive Swampert that it's not like a great lead, but it chases out T-Tar. You don't want to be back on the back foot against T-Tar if you can. And you can protect against Metagross and learn some information on it. At least it won't explode kill you turn one. So Body Slam doing work. Coon is just probably going to rest. Vil doesn't want to explode his Snorlax too early. He still needs it for some special attack reasons. Still want to maybe force it to rest. And can't help but feel that his best way of killing Suicune is going to be to explode. How do I know? So he saves us the trouble of any premature resting, and down goes that. I like when Suicune wears down Snorlax and shit, but at the same time, Suicune is so good defensively, I don't love it, just dying so early. Now Metagross or something or like DD Mence is going to be so much more dangerous. So, Vil could also have an Endeavor Pert, which is a lead on a couple teams, mainly this one Dexa team. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it's alright because it takes a more offensive approach to, leading off the game with Pert. And we see Earthquake, so it's not that, and Ojama with the Curse-Lax. Defensive Curse-Lax, if this is defensive, is also a pretty forgotten monster. I mean, it does not do well in sand against spikes at all, but, oh god, if you don't have those two, and I mean, it's something a lot of teams will have, but even with those two, Snorlax is just amazing sometimes. So a Coonlax is very, very sturdy. There is a Metagross eating Body Slam, no para, no lefties. So could be Banned, could be Lum as well. So Banned Meteor Mash is still going to cleave Snorlax in two as Ojama gets out of there, goes to his Metagross. He's known for running a very, very defensive Metagross, Impish, almost max defense, and that eats this up like nothing. So losing Coon isn't that big a deal after all, because Metagross can pick up the slack against water types. Or not water type, sorry. Can play like a bulky water type, and then it picks up the slack against physically defensive guys. And let's assume that it is that Metagross, Choice Band versus, I would say that's banded versus the max HP thing. Versus Bold Max, that looks about right. Did 23? Yep, that's... So let's just assume it's banned Metagross versus not, or if it's not banned, versus just a standard offensive Metagross with max HP, then it's also possible. But oh yeah, that's definitely what happens. This Earthquake, so that was not max defense Metagross. It was just max HP or something of the sort. 12 defense always lives. Adamant Cut True Earthquake at full HP. And this is not looking good, because with Meta down, then Metagross is going to be able to cleave something else open with Boom. And if you remove Snorlax, if you remove Claydol, then DD Tyranitar is very, very capable of just going in on the weakened Snorlax and fucking shit up. So, in any case, he's not exactly in a rush to get rid of this Claydol, almost certainly, because even if he does have the DD Tar, he can do it whenever he wants. He's not in no hurry. He can go to Pert and threaten it out, bring Lax in, weaken it with some more EQs. So, Ojama does like the style of team. He's just fond of Claydol. I think we could possibly see Immense. I mean, sending Claydol into Metagross is pretty desperate. And Claydol does tend to be faster than minus speed. It is faster than minus speed Mixgross, but I would wager that Vil is... I mean, he could be running HP Grass, very feasibly. So, and he could have just crept on Ojama's Metagross of the same nature. So, we'll see. Claydol could very well outspeed here, but it's not really doing damage. But even if it did, it's not. I mean, Vil could just be running like an Agiligress with a lot of speed, uh, and that's also why that would also be supported by Lum. I mean, HP Grass, Lum is good on it, but Lefties is more common. Lum is more common on HP Fire, Psychic kind of things, because there you're really aiming for the Gengar, whereas with HP Grass you're just trying to fuck up everything and survive to switch into Aerodactyl and such. Not that you can't use Lum or Lefties on each of those respective sets, of course, but yeah, it was a problem because Metagross was 2 KOing Ojama's, assuming it wasn't a speed tie, which I would find which I think is unlikely. And then he would still have this problem of Metagross, unless he switched to Claydol in the second Earthquake, which is very feasible. But in either case, the crit definitely is big. Vil's really thinking about this. He's down to 180 seconds. I mean, I feel like he's in the kind of position where he's in a good spot, and he just wants to make sure he can keep that good spot. I mean, most people are like, the hell are you thinking about? You have like 2 options, and both of them are really good. But he's really planning ahead right now, I feel. Down to 150. So, he can, he can blow it up. He can mash, I mean, if he wants to keep Metagross around for the boom later. And then next time, he can mash into a KO is it 3 KOs? Because next time Claydol can't switch into mash because it'll be to a KO from that point, and then he'll still get his boom off. So that'd be the goal. So I think it's possible we see like an arrow. I don't know about an arrow. Ojama tends to like this kind of team. I think he used it a couple times in the World Cup. I'm really not a fan of Claydol, but I don't like using the word respect in Pokemon a lot because often it makes it sound, the people who use it make it sound like it's like they're trying very, very hard to be in Goodfellas. But Gyarados is a great switch there. Claydol really can't hurt it. Metagross out of the way means that HP Flying can be thrown around. Oh, Zapdos is another very, very feasible one. I forgot to mention that. He would really put a damper on Vil's day. And he would not go to the Zapdos on Metagross because he recognizes how valuable it could be against Swampert and other such Pokemon, like Salamence. And he would rather put it into Zapdos range with Claydol first. Although, risking Claydol against DD Tar with, Kun and Metagross out of the picture, that takes balls. So he doubles to Swampert, possibly trying to scout out Zapdos switches HP Grass. That's what I can think of. Or he could have expected an Aerodactyl. So Ojama's going all the way with Lax cursing up. Vil's not exactly in a rush, but he is going to have to explode this now, I think. Impish Snorlax is extremely good outside of Sand. I mean, Lax outside of Sand is just ridiculous. And it will just shrug this off really, really hard. So this is going to be doing about 30, maybe? Really depends on the spread, but normally a mash will comfortably to a KO. So it's going to do, about half of that now. 25, 30-ish. I mean, if he's really, really bulked out and impish, then, you can think about that, but, So, of course, Ojama doesn't want to curse forever, but at this point, since it's doing 25 to 30, then I think he can chance an attack. Of course, actually, he wants as many curses as possible for the explosion. So that is not a choice ban on this Metagross. Ignore the set name. So Snorlax, Curse Lax, just make it Impish. Snorlax EVs really don't matter. So against Impish Snorlax with that much investment, which is I guess safe to say. +1 is doing nothing. +2 is doing even less. Impish makes it not even 2 KO. So, but the explosion is still going to be really, really hurting it, as you can see. Sand would help a lot here. He can mash. He can maybe get some boosts. The miss there definitely sucked, but Ojama was definitely due for a little something after the Metagross crit. So there's mash, nothing. There's a boost, another curse. So we're going to be seeing pretty much identical damage here. But Vil's boost is helping him keep up against a +3 Metagross. Let's just pretend he didn't get that boost. Then, I mean, Explosion is really chunking him, but outside of Sand, that is just not enough. Now imagine if this was in the Sand. Metagross would just dominate the matchup. So, Ojama's team could also very well have a Magneton. I think Magneton would be very important because right now, a Toxic Skarmory just loves to play this team. Absolutely loves it. I mean, his Metagross might be mixed, but that's still not, doing a lot because it just comes in so freely on so many things, and the spinner gets toxic protected to the end of the earth, and it can just be a mess. So a Magneton is very likely. Somebody I don't feel like this lacks his Cursed Boom. That could be a lure, but then he would need backup versus special threats, which is not out of the picture at all. Ojama has used Lax Blissey many times before. So I think we see another curse here. The +1 boom versus the... Wow, look at the difference that makes. See, because if it's +2... Whoops, that's -2. If it's +2, then it doesn't do that much, but, +2, so that boost really helps him out, actually. And even the Meteor Mash damage is going to be doing more, so... Metagross is so strong in advance, man. I mean, it just breaks open a hole against everything. So, Ojama's really thinking about this. He's doing his calcs. I think he's got a curse. Oh, wow, that stink. That sucks. Oh, that's stupid. That really blows. Ojama drops GG. I hope he doesn't, perfect. Ah, man, that sucks. That's so lame. It would have been a good game, I feel like. I guess Skarm is another... Jirachi and Skarmory are other possible... Jirachi unlikely. Jirachi can be paired with Metagross, but it's not as common. Skarmory's possible, although you don't see Skarm Metagross as much as you think, considering they actually have good synergy against physical pokes, and Metagross helps against mixed guys like T-Tar and Lax that can sometimes annoy Skarm. Metagross just threatens the devil out of them. And they have good synergy against the rock, because Skarm can initially absorb it, so Metagross doesn't get hit by EQ, and Metagross soaks up the Earthquake. Double to Magneton on Rock Slide. Oh, he's trying to soak up Explosion there. 4-attack Rock Slide is a very good Metagross set, actually. And he's doubling around like a madman. So there is the Mag. That's cool. Mag Claydol is good. Albeit considered cheap by some players, but you can't really think about that. I mean, if it's not Baton Pass, then it's not really dirty, even though you wouldn't expect it from most players. And it's not like Skarm automatically loses to it. So anyway, Gara tried to lure the boom. Rock Slide 4-attacks is very, very good because it also wears down Zapdos, which is key because it means he might not have to explode his Metagross. And if he can remove the Zapdos with Rock Slide, considering he has a Gyarados, then, he will take it. There's another boost, my goodness. As Earthquake does not a lot, because Claydol's best attribute is certainly not its attack stat. And unboosted Gara, it could be Jolly, HP Rock, but let's just assume it's Adamant. So Earthquake will kill if it's max attack. Adamant, and I'm over it. And it still kills even if Jolly, assuming max attack, so. Ojama does like his bulk, but he goes to meta on a Meteor Mash, and he misses, so definitely fair there. That would have pounded it with +2. +2 Mash versus 68 HP Garrett is a lot. Anyway, so the speed factor on a gross like this means that Magneton would not be the best switch, but 2 Garras in one game is really cool to see because it's a very underrated threat. So Earthquake here is... So I almost wanted to HP Flying because it's so desperate that, Vill's Gyarados is actually very threatening here. So, and it is faster than Claydol, so that makes sense with the 4-attack thing. He can Intimidate here with Gara. I think that's what he should do. Yeah, doesn't want to Fort. Go to Mag. Frustration. Cool. That's Jolly then, I would expect. It would be, it doesn't have to be. But Ojama's switching around like a psycho against, to maneuver around this threat. Now his HP Flyings will do damage. He knows it doesn't have Taunt, so if he's a Thunder Wave set, which I think is unlikely, but possible, then you can hurt him like that. If it is HP Rock, which is very good with Magneton, again, because you outrun Jolteon, you kill Arrow, you outrun Arrow, which is huge. You have HP Rock for Zapdos, then it's also very good here, and it obviously hits Salamence harder. So Bill's got the DD advantage here. Unfortunately, you can't really switch around to get the boom down on the Claydol. So Bill's is HP Rock against HP Flying, and Bill is going to take this one. Wow, that sucks. The way that it had to go down this way. Well, Ojama's not giving up just yet, as he's going to go back to Gara here, but Vil has no reason to. And if you're Vil and you just HP Flying or HP Rock here, then that's just gratuitous. Like, oh, Frustration's a good middle ground. That's definitely fair. So now he sacks Mag, I think, and he goes to Claydol for extra lefties and to explode. Actually, no, because Gara can DD again. Ooh, I don't know if I like that. Keeping Gara because it's got higher speed, so it can potentially outrun more Pokemon, even though it's really reaching at this point. I guess if I'm Vil, I just go to Pert here, or not Pert. Well, no, you don't want to go to Metagross unnecessarily because if he Earthquakes out of sheer desperation, then I assume his last two can kill Claydol and not, get completely bent over by 40% Gyarados. So, or 7% Gyarados. I'm sorry, I was thinking of a couple turns ago. Yeah, I think he just frustrations and lets Claydol kill him, and then he finishes off the 7% Metagross with a Pokemon that I assume is faster than 250, which is around what Gyarados usually runs. 249 outruns Doug at +1, which is all you really need. So, Vil was rocking the Jolly Gyara, so that's cool. He goes Gyarados. He expects a switch out of desperation, maybe? Or maybe he's gonna go for Ice Beam Freeze. It's still super desperate. But, yeah, I guess he expected the Metagross switch out of, desperation, and, no, Ice Beam is just gonna explode, which is fair, he doesn't really need extra Mets coverage. Yeah, he expected Gross and tried to get more lefties and threaten it out, and maybe hit Gara on the switch and other such things. So, unfortunate twist to a really nasty matchup. Or, not nasty, a matchup of two Leviathans of the advanced tier. So Vil's gonna take this one. Really unfortunate. I guess he had maybe a Mag in the back. His team doesn't really look like it does too hot against Skarmory right now, unless Lax's Curse Boom, which definitely feasible. I think he might have used. I think it was just a mixed Lax, or just a straight up Shadow Ball Earthquake Lash, which is rare, but can be seen with Magneton. But I think he would have cursed up against Coon, so Mag's possible. Something like a Mixed Ments is possible. Tar is always. Arrow maybe, although I think it's most likely with Tar. But yeah, you definitely have to have a plan for Skarm, which I'm sure he did. So thank you guys for watching. Sucks that the game happened like it did, but I think the narration was pretty good. So hopefully you enjoyed that, and I'll catch you next time.